This is Crick Buzz at Stumps. Adam Collins and Harsha Bhogle, except you can probably tell it's not Stumps at all. It's about lunchtime. India lasted barely an hour on the final morning. They were nowhere near it. Thrashed by 146 runs. Bowled out for 140 the second time around. Harsha, we always knew there was a risk this was going to happen with India essentially playing 4 number 11s.
Yes, it was. First of all, look how windy it is. I think India will sit on that bus on the way back to the hotel and on the flight back to Melbourne thinking, where did it go wrong? The series was perfect for us. Adelaide 1-0, go up to Perth. They said, nice, we like the grassy conditions. I think they'll be very disappointed. Yes, the bottom 4 don't give any runs, but also, just as important, the top 2 don't give you any runs. And we've been saying it over and over. When you go to England, when you go to South Africa, when you go to come to Australia, then your top 2 have to blunt the new ball. So those are the problems. I think selection as well. I mean, it's hindsight's 2020, but Australia played a spinner. So in hindsight, I think India would have benefited from playing a spinner who batted a bit.
Yeah, missing Ashwin, the decision rather not to pick Jadeja was something that came back to haunt Virat Kohli as the Test match wore on, because the surface wasn't consistent. Capricious, you described it yesterday,
yes,
Harsha.
Yes.
At different periods through the course of the Test match, it looked like a dream to bat on. At different points, it was spitting at people's heads. It was a difficult pitch to really make a call. And Nathan Lyon demonstrated for Australia, finishing with 8 wickets, player of the match, how crucial having a finger spinner was.
I think he's just creeping up to becoming the key player for Australia, because you don't talk about him. You talk about all the other players. Earlier it was Smith and Warner. You talk about Cummins and Hazelwood, and there's always attention around Stark. And I'll tell you what, he is bowling better than I've ever seen him bowl before. I know he's had a fabulous couple of years in international cricket, but he is bowling better than ever before. You look at his grouping, you look at his loop. He's now getting that ball to go away. The one that got Kohli, it's going straight through. So he's doing just about everything. And I think Nathan Lyon was a difference between the two sides, because the fast bowlers of both teams almost did equally well.
He's taken 16 wickets in 2 Test matches, Nathan Lyon, 8 in this Test, 8 in Adelaide last week, more than 500 wickets now in first-class cricket. A remarkable story. He's nearing Dennis Lillee on the all-time charts for Australia.
How good would that be?
Oh, tell me about it. I mean, he was the groundsman at Manuka Oval in Canberra in 2009. Not even 10 years on, these remarkable achievements. Mitchell Stark, the attack leader, a lot of scrutiny on him coming into the Test match. He did his job this morning. He was vicious and he helped finish the job.
I know he's talked about the fact that he can't listen to what Shane Warne's saying about him. I think Shane Warne's his best friend. Every time Shane Warne says, Mitch Stark, you're no good, he comes storming back and bowls well. So maybe Warne should keep having a go at him every game. The strides, when he was running in like an athlete. He was banging the ball in hard. He was giving you wickets with the new ball. Mitch Stark had a good game. I thought Hazelwood had a decent game. Cummins, you never know with Cummins. He seems to be bowling so well, keeps the pressure on. But Australia's bowling was excellent. But I thought the man who grew as the Test was going along, and this Test made him so much more comfortable, was Tim Paine.
Such an even performance from the bowlers. We saw Cummins and Hazelwood also chip in with wickets in the second innings, even across the board. No real standout, notwithstanding Lyon's 8 wickets across the Test match. Let's look at selection. India selection in particular. Prithvi Shaw, we've seen reports he won't be available for Melbourne. Yeah. What are you going to do with your opening partnership, Harsha? Murali Vijay back in the side, but hasn't really made a significant contribution. KL Rahul, we've seen what a tremendous cricketer he can be, but badly out of touch. How do you square that circle?
Well, for a start, Virat Kohli can't keep coming in at 10 for 2 every single time. I thought Virat Kohli's innings was the individual highlight of this Test match. You have to ensure Virat Kohli is going in at a time when the bowlers have already been blunted a little bit. I don't know where that's going to come from. Mayank Agarwal comes in. He's come in as a bona fide opener, so you've got to play Mayank Agarwal. Do you play Rahul? Do you play Vijay? Neither of them has looked like staying in there. Do you say, right, they've committed all their mistakes, so they'll learn how to play? Or do you just take left field view, say, okay, I'll open a Hanuma Vihari and play Hardik Pandya? So India have a lot of questions to answer. I don't think they have enough data points to find those answers.
It looks as though his opposing number, Tim Paine, will have Aaron Finch at his disposal on Boxing Day. The Victorian opener expected to come up from that finger injury. Peter Handscomb, on the other hand, unclear. I'm sure he'll be fit. Whether he's selected is a different matter altogether. But the captain, Paine, people have described it as a coming-of-age Test match for him. The 5th time he's led Australia in this format. His first win, it meant an awful lot to him, didn't it?
It did. And he gave as he got, which is what you expect from the Aussies. As we discussed once, they come from different sides of the toughness spectrum, one visible, one more quiet, but they gave as they got. I think it's 230s in the game. I thought the 4th morning changed the game. with Tim Payne and Usman Khawaja batting in there. It'll be a big test for Usman Khawaja as well. So Payne and Khawaja changed that game. He was good behind the stumps. He controlled his side well. It was a big test match for him.
And as lovers of Test cricket, Harsha, we are going to Boxing Day 1-1. So often the Melbourne and Sydney Test matches are dead rubbers. The cricket diminishes as a consequence, but we're blessed to be going to Boxing Day, one of the greatest stadiums on the planet, if not the greatest, with the series all squared up.
It is indeed, and it's going to be a magnificent occasion, 1-1. Maybe it'll turn a little bit as it goes along. Maybe India will get their selection right. I still think, all things considered, India's probably still marginally the better side than Australia, but they'll have to recover really quickly.
Thanks for your company on Crick Buzz throughout the course of this Test match here at the new Perth Stadium. Adam Collins and Harsha Bhogle signing off Crick Buzz at Stumps. We'll catch you on Boxing Day.